Hello, Smarts here. So I put together this little it's a collection of videos and pictures that I took during my recent journey to MoMoCon. I attended MoMoCon. It had a table at MoMoCon in Atlanta. It's I think it's actually our second biggest convention after DragonCon. It's grown so much. It's really cool how much it's grown. I mean, it started out as this little fan convention on the Georgia Tech campus and it just exploded. But anyways, I I had fun. I had a lot of fun at this year. I had more fun than I did last year, but mostly because last year I was by myself at the convention, and while I still had fun, it's well, I wasn't completely by myself because I had a table next to friends of mine that I went to school with and stuff, but they were a whole table away. Whereas this year I was at the same table with two of my friends, and so it was a completely different experience. It was a lot more fun. The energy was good. I was in a good mood pretty much the entire time. So that was good. I mean, and then it was just a good convention. There was a lot of energy. The second I sat down and they started letting people in, I could feel the energy and the good vibes, and just it's powerful, and I felt happy the whole time. And there was a lot of really cool stuff. Unfortunately, I mean, this is the funny thing. I was just busy enough that I barely got away from the table. It was great. It was actually really great, I'm trying to think where to even begin with this. I didn't have time to walk around the convention, really, because I don't even know what was on half. There's a whole side of the convention that I never even got to go to. But still, I mean, what I saw was still amazing to me, and it just it filled me with just like this powerful emotion. It was really great. And I mean, it made me kind of sad, once the last day showed up and everything was torn down and everyone was leaving, because it was just like, you don't want to see this kind of celebration, everyone coming together, brought together, through these things that they love, this pop culture and just culture in general, and just, I don't know, I didn't want to see it end, but when it was happening, it was amazing. I saw so much cosplay that I had never seen done before. Like, so many people just doing stuff that I had never, ever seen. Ever. I can't believe. It was, and they were all amazing. Like, really, really well done, well thought out, well planned, well executed cosplay. Just, I don't know. There's so much that was going on, but there was some some really incredible stuff that happened at this show. Ran into so many people from the Art Institute, like my days back in the Art Institute and stuff, and that I just hadn't seen in a long time. Some of them hadn't seen in an incredibly just gross amount of time, and they know who they are. You know who you are. But no, I mean, I love that it does that. It brings people together and brings them back together, after maybe time has separated them, and distance. And I mean, you can see it, like, just walking. I would be walking around, and you'd see like people who had never met IRL, and they're just like, they're meeting each other for the first time, and they're just hugs, just gigantic hugs, and I can't tell you how many times I saw that, and just heard people talking about it's so good to meet you, I don't, I just like this kind of thing. I love that that stuff like this can do that, can bring people together, bring them so much happiness, and just, well, yeah, I mean, just bring us all together. I mean, I don't even know how, I can't explain it any more than that. It's really amazing. And I had a really good time. It was great. I wish I wish I could have seen more of the convention. I don't know what else was out there. There's whole parts of the con that I didn't even go to. Oh well. But it does that thing, it does that thing to you where, you on that last day when the convention's over and you're tearing down your table and you're packing everything back up, and you're just like, oh man, I gotta get to the next convention. You want to get to the next convention. You want another convention to be happening the next weekend, so you can just bathe in that energy and that fun and that amazingness. And I don't know. I would love that to be, I mean, honestly, the way that I live, where I traveled, from convention to convention all the time. I mean, I did a lot in the past, but not nearly as much as I would really like. Especially in order to make a living. But still, I mean, you know what? There was so much amazing artwork being shown by artists, and it was this beautiful mix of professional artists and independent artists. I mean, there were people who worked for Disney, at a couple of tables in there, and I mean, there were people that worked for Marvel, and it was incredible. I didn't even know how to explain it. I wish you could have been there, and if you were there, oh my gosh, I can only imagine. But just side by side, and they didn't set it up so that people were, so that the artist alley. They didn't set it up so that the artist alley was divided. We weren't divided. We were all mixed in, so that professionals, like I said, professionals were sitting side by side with independent artists, and it was just everyone was they were just in unison. Everything was perfect, and there was just harmony about it, and everyone was just having a really good time. But God, the amazing art. I lost my mind so much, just walking around and looking at some of the stuff that people were creating. Man, it's just that thing. You don't want it to end ever. You just kind of want it to go on forever, but I guess it can't. Otherwise, it wouldn't be special if this kind of thing just went on and on and on forever, or if it happened all the time for all of us. It would lose something, and I guess we would all lose something that's dear to us, something that's, well, it's personal and special, but at the same time it's shared. It's amazing. But you still can't help but want it to be this thing that happens all the time and goes on forever. I don't know. I loved it. There were a lot of people that actually came to our table, because it was me, Geistrums, and LD that were at the table, and I think there was a really good mix between the three of us. There was a really good mix of art that we did well. We did very well, and we we kept people visually entertained. Like they would come by the table and they could see the variety, and it was delightful for a lot of people. You could see it on their face, and that made me happy that it was choice, it was variety, and they could pick from all of it. And a lot of people did. They were like, I'll take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and maybe a little bit of that. You know, there were I don't know. I guess thank you to everybody that actually came out and came by the table and bought stuff from us. You guys are amazing. Oh my gosh, I never realized just how much of a fan I mean, I knew I was a fan of Kamen Rider, but I never realized just how much of a fan I was of Kamen Rider. But there were quite a few people that came out and were also fans, and on many occasions it just geeked out with people about Kamen Rider, and I was pulling up stuff from the depths of my memory that I didn't even think that I had held on to, but there it was. And I'm just happy and excited that I'm connecting with people over stuff that I love, you know, and because, you know, it's just kind of cool. You know, you just get together and everything is in an upswing. It's just everything, it's happy. But yeah, I mean, that's what happened. I was just like, my brain felt like it was about to explode most of the time. I was in such a good mood. I didn't know how to handle it. You know, it was just incredible. It was just really incredible. It feels like it just kind of flew by super fast. I know it didn't, because I can remember almost every second of those days. But now that it's over, it feels like it flew by too fast, which is really weird because it was like a 4-day convention. Wow. I can't believe it. I mean, it went from like I said, it was a small convention a long time ago. It was really, really small. And I think it started off as a 1-day convention a long time ago, and then it went to a 2-day deal. I mean, it was a fan group. It was like fans that got together on the Georgia Tech campus, and just anime fans, anime manga fans. And they started a convention. It was just a group organization at first, and it just grew more and more. And it just kind of went into multiple days. It's just crazy. Eventually, it was at 3 days, and then it went to, now it's at 4 days. That's incredible. It's insane. But look at it. That's what the people want. That's what and I'm sure everybody there that was at the show, if they could have an entire week of this, they would definitely take it. And they would make it incredible. I'm sure. For me, it did something. Whenever this convention happens, actually, whenever most of the conventions happen here in Atlanta, they make me see Atlanta in a completely different way. Atlanta just, most times it's so, it's not quiet, but it's not a boisterous, robust city like New York. It's not constantly going. The city actually kind of goes to sleep at night. It's crazy. You can drive around Atlanta at night. It's just quiet. The streets are pretty quiet. But I mean, even during the day, it's just a different animal. And then this kind of thing happens, and it completely changed that whole area of the city. Just everywhere, people, in cosplay, and just, you could tell they were fans, just walking around in the streets, and Batman doing a photo shoot, in the middle of the street, and just, I don't know, but it was amazing. It was just amazing. can't wait for the next one, really. Oh, wow. Batman. Yeah, Batman. Oh, wow. I mean, really, though, where can you see, like, Batman and Luffy and Firekeeper from the Dark Souls and, like, Hodor, and just where would you see all of, well, I mean, I guess they're at conventions, you're going to see all that happening at the same time, just this convergence of fandoms, just this melting pot. And it's funny because it's grown beyond just an anime and manga convention. Just it's grown beyond a Japanese culture convention, and it is just fans celebrating fandom, and that's really awesome. And I love that. I love that.